Welcome back to the channel. Today, imagine not just a crowd, but a human tide, millions, each armed, moving as one. We're counting down the 10 largest armies ever assembled, exploring not just numbers, but the ambition and logistics behind them. From ancient Persia to modern Russia, horseback empires to industrial juggernauts, this is the story of humanity's most massive war machines. If you love epic history, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Get ready. The march of history is about to begin. The ground will shake. Let's start the countdown. We begin with Napoleon's Grande Armée, over 600,000 strong in 1812, a multinational force marching on Russia. Poles, Italians, Germans, Dutch, Swiss, all under the French eagle, forming a moving city of men and horses. The logistics were staggering, feeding, supplying, and moving this army across Europe. Seasoned by a decade of victories, they seemed invincible. But Russia's vastness and scorched earth tactics turned numbers into a liability. Supply lines snapped and the army bled men and morale with every mile. Borodino was a Pyrrhic victory, Moscow a burning trap. Tsar Alexander refused to negotiate, waiting for General Winter. The retreat was a nightmare: starvation, frostbite, and constant attacks. Of 600,000, fewer than 100,000 returned. The Grande Armée was annihilated, proving that even the largest force can be broken by geography, weather, and unyielding resistance. It's a chilling start to our list. Numbers alone don't guarantee victory. Napoleon's ambition met its match in the Russian winter. The legend of the Grande Armée endures as a warning. On to the next. Now to ancient Persia, Xerxes' army at Thermopylae. Herodotus claimed millions, but modern estimates put the force at 200,000, 300,000, still the largest of its time. This was a human tidal wave. Persians, Medes, Assyrians, Scythians, Indians, Ethiopians, a display of imperial might. For the Greeks, it was an existential threat. At Thermopylae, a few thousand Greeks, led by 300 Spartans, held the pass against this juggernaut. The disparity in numbers made their stand legendary. The Persians eventually won, but at great cost, and the legend inspired Greek resistance. Xerxes' army showed that overwhelming force can be resisted by courage and strategy. Even the greatest armies can be challenged. The human spirit endures. Next, the Mongols, masters of horse and bow, led by Genghis Khan. Their army, 150,000, 250,000 strong, was smaller than others on this list, but unmatched in effectiveness. Every Mongol was a born rider and archer. Their society was a military machine. Organized in units of 10, a strict chain of command enforced absolute discipline. Their mobility was legendary: multiple horses per warrior, rapid movement, and surprise attacks. Psychological warfare and feigned retreats lured enemies to destruction. They adapted quickly, mastering siegecraft with captured engineers. Brutally pragmatic, nothing was off limits for victory. The Mongols conquered more territory faster than any force in history. From the Pacific to Europe, they reshaped the world map. Their efficiency, discipline, and strategy set them apart. Sometimes, quality trumps quantity. The Mongol storm changed history. Now to 18th century China, the Qing dynasty. At its height, the Qing military boasted over 1 million soldiers. Two main forces, the elite 8 banners, Manchu warriors, and the massive Green Standard Army, Han Chinese. The banners guarded the dynasty's core. The Green Standard policed and defended the vast empire. The Qing expanded China's borders, conquering Xinjiang, Tibet, and more. But peace bred complacency. By the 19th century, corruption and poor training hollowed the army. The Opium Wars exposed their weakness. Modern Western armies crushed the once mighty Qing. The lesson size and tradition can't stop technological change. The Qing army's rise and fall shaped modern China's borders. Power fades if it doesn't adapt. Even a million-strong force can become obsolete. History moves on. Across the Pacific, the American Civil War saw the Union Army swell to 1.2 million by 1865. In just 4 years, the U.S. went from 16,000 soldiers to a massive citizen army. Volunteers, draftees, immigrants, and African Americans fought side by side. The Emancipation Proclamation brought nearly 200,000 black soldiers into the ranks. The North's industrial might fueled this force: factories, railroads, and relentless production. Generals like Grant used superior numbers and resources to grind down the Confederacy. The Union Army became battle-hardened at Antietam, Gettysburg, and beyond. It wasn't just a military victory, it reforged a nation. The cost was immense, but the Union's size and industry prevailed. The Civil War marked America's entry into modern industrial warfare. Mass mobilization changed the country forever. The blue tide could not be stopped. The nation survived and was transformed. Entering the 20th century, the British Empire mobilized a global force in World War I. By 1918, 4 million troops from every corner of the empire, Canada, Australia, India, Africa, fought for the King Emperor. This was a multi-ethnic, worldwide army, moving men and supplies across oceans under constant threat. Canadians at Vimy Ridge, Anzacs at Gallipoli, Indians in France and Mesopotamia. The empire's reach was unprecedented. The logistical feat was immense and the casualties staggering, nearly 1 million dead. The empire's manpower helped turn the tide, but the shared sacrifice sowed seeds of independence. The war changed the empire forever. The British Army's size was both its strength and its undoing. Global power came at a high price. The world would never be the same. The sun began to set on the empire. In 1945, the Imperial Japanese Army peaked at over 6 million spread across Asia and the Pacific. Indoctrinated in Bushido, Japanese soldiers fought with fanatical tenacity. Surrender was unthinkable. Battles like Iwo Jima and Okinawa saw garrisons fight to the last man. As defeat loomed, Japan prepared for a final stand, mobilizing civilians, arming even children. The planned defense of the home islands terrified Allied planners, with projected casualties in the millions. This fanaticism and sheer numbers influenced the decision to use atomic bombs. The Japanese Army's size and spirit created a strategic nightmare. In the end, overwhelming force met overwhelming resolve. The cost was catastrophic. The war ended, but the legacy endures. At number 3, Nazi Germany's Wehrmacht, 11 million strong by late 1943. Blitzkrieg tactics brought early victories, but total war demanded total mobilization. The Wehrmacht fought on 2 fronts, the West against the Allies, the East against the Soviet Union. The Eastern Front was a meat grinder. Stalingrad and Kursk shattered German armies. 11 million men became a symbol of desperation as Germany's situation worsened. The war machine was bled dry by endless conflict and overwhelming opposition. Hubris and ideology led to ruin. The Wehrmacht's size couldn't save it from defeat and destruction. Germany was left in ashes, divided and devastated. Numbers alone couldn't change fate. The cost was unimaginable. The Red Army, 12 million strong in 1945, was the anvil that broke the Nazi hammer. After catastrophic losses in 1941, the Soviets rebuilt, mobilizing men and women on a scale never seen. Factories moved east, churning out tanks and guns. The T-34 tank became a symbol of Soviet resilience. The war on the Eastern Front was a fight for survival, brutal, total, and relentless. The Red Army learned, adapted, and unleashed massive offensives. Stalingrad, Kursk, Operation Bagration. The cost, at least 27 million Soviet dead, 11 million of them soldiers. The Red Army drowned the Wehrmacht in blood and steel. Its size was both weapon and tragedy. Victory came at a staggering price. The Soviet Union emerged a superpower forever changed. The world order shifted. The Red Army's march ended in Berlin. At the summit, the People's Liberation Army, 1949, 14 million strong. This was more than an army. It was a mobilized society, forged in the chaos of civil war. The PLA's strength came from Mao's People's War, embedding with peasants, winning hearts, and swelling ranks with each victory. Mass defections from the nationalists and the absorption of surrendered troops fueled explosive growth. The PLA was a mix of guerrillas, former enemies, and new recruits, armed with whatever was available. Not technologically advanced, but unified by purpose and numbers. In 1949, they swept across China, driving the nationalists to Taiwan. The communist victory reshaped Asia and the world. The PLA's size was unprecedented, a true people's army. 14 million fighters changed history. The People's Republic of China was born, the ultimate example of mass mobilization. From Russia's snows to Asia's jungles, these armies shaped history's greatest conflicts. Behind every number were millions of lives, Stories of ambition, tragedy, and transformation. Each army reflected its society's dreams and limits. Which force surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey, like and subscribe for more epic history. Your suggestions shape our next deep dive. Thanks for watching.